Yo, what's going on, you guys? I just wanted to make this live. I wanted to go live to talk about the importance of not thinking about working hard, but actually doing the work. Like, for example, today I'd been thinking about making this video for a minute. I've been thinking, I was like, okay, well, do I want to go live? Um, do I want to record the video and then post it later? But then I thought about it and I was like, well, either way, I need to record this content anyway. So I may as well take action. I may as well record this video. And then when I'm done recording, I'll know that it's done. I'll know that I did my duty. Because even when I was in school, I struggled with this a lot. I think it was one of the hardest things I had to kind of work with because I really would think about, okay, well, I have to study for this and I have to study for this and I have this thing going on. Okay, well, which one do I prioritize? Do I do this first or this first? And meanwhile, it's like I'm just wrapping myself up in bunches trying to think about, okay, well, if I study for this thing, then that means I'm not studying for this. But then I think this exam is more important, or this exam is going to be harder, and I'm just like stressing myself out more and more the more that I'm thinking about it. But then at the same time, I'm also not taking action, and so that's why even though it's something I still struggle with, it's something I'm trying to overcome. And that's why I love making content because I can look back on this content and go, okay, that's right. So I did make this content talking about how I'm trying to overcome these things in hopes that it can help someone else who's trying to overcome these things. Because in life, one thing that's so beautiful is that we all go through our own trials, our own tribulations, and we all struggle with this at some point in time. And so we can find someone that has content that helps us. It's such a beautiful thing because another thing that I think a lot of people tend to do is they start to think about how hard something is going to be. They start thinking about, oh, this thing's going to be so difficult. I don't know if it's even going to be worth my time to try doing this because I'm not going to be good at it anyway. And it almost reminds me of like when I was single and it's like, okay, well, you know, you see a girl that looks pretty, or like she goes to your school or she's in a class that you're taking, and you get so in your head about like, oh, what if she doesn't like me, what if she likes someone else, what if she likes my friend instead, that you've worked yourself up thinking about a million different scenarios. Meanwhile, it's like you don't know if any of those things are true or not because you haven't tried. And oftentimes, by just trying, even if things don't go the way that you wanted, you at least know for sure, like, okay, I tried this thing, it didn't work out, but now I can move on knowing that I tried. And that same thing is true when it comes to putting in work, when it comes to getting things done. It's just not worth your mental and emotional energy to sit here, stressing yourself out about the million things that could go wrong. Because at the end of the day, like, I don't care who you are, there's always something that could go wrong. I don't care, whether it's you're going to the gym and you're lifting weights, or you're going to class. Like, there's always something that could go wrong. And the longer you spend wrapping yourself up in the million different things that could go wrong, the more time you take away from putting that energy into the things that could go right. And so when it comes to working hard, you have to think about it from the standpoint of anyone who ever built anything successful had to overcome those negative thoughts, those negative emotions, those negative feelings and self doubt of like, what if this doesn't work? What if I try this and this goes bad? What if someone sees me do this thing and, they laugh at me or it's embarrassing? Everyone had to overcome those things. And when I was younger playing sports, it was something that would make me really nervous, like playing basketball and having games, because you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss a shot when you know that people are watching you, some of your friends, your parents are watching you, your brothers, whatever. And because of that, you get so scared when you're playing that you're like, oh, I don't know, I shouldn't even shoot at all. I'll just keep passing. But then at the end of the day, by doing that, you don't know that if you would have taken that shot, you might have made it. You might have made the shot also if you learn to separate those two things. if you learn to think about it like, okay, there are people watching me, sure, but like at the end of the day, you're there to play basketball. You're there to have a good time. And when you get to that space of not worrying so much about all of the things that could go wrong and you start focusing on the things that could go right, you put yourself in a much better position to ignore, a lot of the things, a lot of the outside noise. And you think about it from the standpoint of if you play a professional sport, it's the same exact thing where you have to learn to tune out the outside noise and focus on yourself and what you need to do. And so the reason I wanted to go live to talk about all of this stuff is because at the end of the day, with this being something I also struggle with, I feel like by making content like this, it will allow all of us to kind of grow together. It'll allow all of us to hold one another accountable and to, do things when it feels uncomfortable, when you have that self doubt, when you don't know if what exactly you're doing is gonna work out for you. Um, and so, yeah, you guys, I'm hoping that this content is super helpful. I'm hoping that, this content encourages you to take action because even me like recording this and going live, it's like I didn't prepare an outline, I didn't prepare anything, but I just figured the message of what I had to say just needed to be said. Because I just had the thought, randomly today about making this video. And so I wanted to share that. I wanted to talk about how important it is to trust yourself, to trust God, to trust that even if you may not have the answers, that God's got you and that God will give you the strength and that God will give you the courage and the knowledge to say what it is that you need to say. And so, yeah, you guys, I hope that you guys found content or found not found content. I hope you guys found value from this. I hope that this encourages you guys to get after it. I hope that this encourages you guys to prioritize what needs to be prioritized. I hope that this content encourages you guys to not feel sorry for yourself, to not focus on how much it is you have to do, but I hope that it blesses you guys to realize that it's a blessing to work. It's a blessing to grow. It's a blessing to obtain knowledge, to obtain information, to put in work. Like putting in work isn't something that we should do with pity or with self-pity. Putting in work is something that we should look at as a blessing because at the end of the day, when you're putting in work, you get the chance to empower yourself, but to also improve yourself. And so that should never be something that's looked at in a negative light because putting in any kind of work should be a blessing. And so, yeah, you guys, I hope this video blesses you guys. I definitely had some points I wanted to touch on, but I'll probably have to touch on it in another video because it's one of those things where you get on a roll and you kind of forget some of the things you meant to touch on. But regardless, I hope you guys found some value from this, and I'll talk to all of you guys in the next one.